Hey guys, welcome to the Bulldog Bark.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sports Updates. I'm Jalen and this is Matthew. Last weekend, March Madness went to the Final Four, where Michigan State lost to Texas Tech and Auburn lost to Virginia, preceding them to the championship game. And in the championship game, Virginia beat Texas Tech 85-77, and DeAndre Hunter was the leading scorer with 27 points. Now on to Katie with school news.
What was your favorite part about senior trip?
Slapping Taylor after he got sunburned at the water park.
The food, the hotel breakfast was really good, and I ate like 4 pieces of chicken in medieval times and tomato soup.
So Medieval Times was really cool, getting to see all the knights sparring and jousting and all that, and then Animal Kingdom because you get to walk around and see all the different animals in their habitat and get little different experiences of the culture, so it was really cool.
I would have to say whenever my friend Luis and we would go in line for a ride at Animal Kingdom about 3 or 4 times.
My favorite part about senior trip was at the Medieval Times dinner when I won the Queen of Love and Beauty.
Thanks, Katie. Now I'm going to be talking to you guys about the basic characteristics of each zodiac sign. If you don't know what your sign is, I will have the dates on the screen as they come up. The first sign I'm going to be talking about is Aries. Aries people are usually very willful, courageous, and bold and like to stand up for anything that they believe in and are passionate about. They can also be quite cold-hearted and reckless at times. The next sign I'm going to talk about is Tauruses. Tauruses are usually very practical, creative, caring, dependable people, but they can also be very temperamental, judgmental, and stubborn. Next up we have Geminis, who are very versatile, changeable, playful, friendly. Geminis can also be quite talkative at times, which could be considered one of their negative traits because sometimes they can be a little bit two-faced. Next up we have my sign, which is Cancers. Cancers tend to be very caring and loving people with a really strong emotional side, but that can also be considered a bad thing because we can be quite over-emotional at times and also very moody and pessimistic. Next up we have Leos, who are very helpful, goal-oriented, loyal people, but they also tend to be quite demanding and conceited. Next up we have Virgos, who are very analytical, determined, reliable people, who can also be a little bit too analytical, and in turn that sometimes means a little bit too judgmental. And then we have Libras, who are very sophisticated, intellectual, romantic people. Libras can also be quite resentful, spiteful, and indecisive. And then we have one of my personal favorites, Scorpios, who are very intense, powerful, really like magnetic people, but they tend to be jealous, demanding, and unreasonable at times. Next up is Sagittariuses, who are very adventurous, helpful, open-minded people that sometimes have a problem forgiving easily, can be very vengeful and pushy. Next up is Capricorns, who are very organized, classy, respectful, devoted people, who sometimes have a problem admitting when they're wrong and can be quite pessimistic. After Capricorn is Aquarius, who are usually very friendly, creative, kind-hearted people, but a lot of the times they seem quite detached and unpredictable. And then we have Pisces, who are very imaginative, kind, intuitive people, who are very selfless and love to help others, who sometimes can be quite overly sensitive, pessimistic, and lazy. I hope you enjoyed this segment. Remember, it was just for fun, and now on to you on how you're keeping it golden.
How are you keeping it golden?
I'm keeping golden by only controlling events that are in my control and staying positive, and things that are out of my reach, I try to make the most of them.
I'm staying positive by thinking about the good things instead of the bad, thinking of the bad things as a way to help me grow and learn. That way I can be a better person and have more positivity in my life.
I'm keeping it golden by turning my negative events into positive outcomes.
Remember, you're awesome, you are the best, and you do rock.
That Bulldog Bark was truly radical.
We'll see you guys next week.